272 cubic inch, 171 horsepower. G'day, it's Mark and welcome back to the channel. And in this episode, we look at the 1957 Ford F-250 truck. If you haven't followed along, there's a whole stack of episodes from the first time I got the car from Colorado right through to all the work that Ray's done on the vehicle. It still needs quite a bit in terms of the body, so I'll take you through that as well. But mechanically, Ray's done a fantastic job. The car, or the truck, runs really well. It's a little 272 cubic inch V8 and starts right up and runs really well. It went right through the fuel system, the brakes, got a new drive shaft for it because that had been bent, or it might have even been missing when I bought the truck, but I think it was bent. So I had that made up and yeah, I've just been, it hit a deer or it hit a tree or it hit something back in Colorado in the ice, and so the front end on the right-hand side was sort of pushed in, and the front bumper bar, which is really heavy duty, I'll show it to you in a second. Not just a pretty face, I've been working on the car as well. You'd probably say I'm not a pretty face either, and I don't think I am. But I've just been using the tools to get the front bumper bar off, and it's a real mess. I've ordered a new bumper from the States, a chrome one, to go on, and I also need to get a few other parts, which I'll take you through. So this is the truck here, 1957 Ford F-250. If you like patina, this is the king of patina. You can see here, here's the front bumper bar that I've just removed. Took a while, had my impact driver there. Without that, it would have been impossible because, as you can see here, the bumper was really torn. And this is very thick, hardened steel, so you can just get a bit of an idea of how thick that is, how thick that metal is. You know, the force and pressure to do that's amazing, really. Luckily, the rails weren't bent at all, but I did have trouble getting the last bolt off because this was bent here, this bracket, and so I couldn't get the impact driver or the torque wrench, or whatever you want to call it, on the bolt. So I thought, well, I'll use that to my advantage. It wouldn't turn, so I just got it from the other side with a ratchet. I did it the old-fashioned manual way, but this is like ripped to pieces. I spoke to my friend Brian, who is working on my P5 LTD at the moment and done other work for me on the cars, and he just said, look, hardened steel, even with an oxy, you know, heating it up, you're gonna have a lot of trouble trying to straighten that up. So I just thought, nah, I won't try. I was gonna try originally, but I've taken the front bumper off now. You can see there the chassis rails. This one does look to be a little bit bent downwards, so I might have to just put some pressure on that to sort of straighten that up, but I think generally speaking it looks fine. You can push in the grille here, took out the eyebrow, that's another eyebrow I got, but I've got a whole new grille for it in chrome, and it pushed down the front here. So that apron you can see there, I'm not sure if they make that as a reproduction. They do make a lot of parts for these repro, which is great, but I think I can straighten that out relatively easily with maybe a little jack or something like that. Just push it out with a block of wood or something from the inside, and then I'll unbolt this front guard and just order a new guard for it. It'll also give me an opportunity to have a look at sort of the inner structure of the vehicle as well. I'll get Brian to give me a hand. I've asked him to sort of give me some tips on some welding, because I would like to do some of it myself. This door is not too bad. I mean, it's got a few bits and pieces. This side is not bad. This mud guard, it's had some filler, but I mean, it's perfectly fine for what it is. I want to kind of leave the patina look on it. That's the original color of the truck there, the red. This might polish up, but it's probably had a few coats of paint over the years. This side of the cab here is pretty good. I love this little compartment where you can put tools and bits and pieces in there. See how the mud flap for the back, colorful Colorado. I've got the left one on. It'll need a patch in the floor. I'll take you to look at that in a second. And I need to order some sun visors. It's just got one there, the other one's missing. It doesn't have an interior light, which is a bit of a shame. I don't know whether it actually had one or not, but I might take this roof panel out and have a look to see if it was originally fitted with one. Because actually, I've got the lens. I bought the lens, but I need the housing, and I don't even know if I've got the, I don't know if it's powered up for that. Anyway, the seat, get that re-trimmed, and Most of the floor is pretty good, but there is some rust on the other side, which I'll take you through. I need to get door rubbers as well. You can see they're perished. Love these little catches on that. We had those on our early Falcons. Funnily enough, it's on the passenger side, not the driver's side. There is a dent in there, so maybe I will buy another guard. Actually, I will replace this guard, sorry, misspoke there. I will replace this guard because it's got a lot of filler in here and it's also damaged down the bottom. So the step I'll probably keep. So front right mud guard or fender. This, I love this sort of heavy duty mesh they've put on here. You can buy tailgates and things like that, but I'm going to leave it as is. I like the kind of original look about it. I love the rear bumper bar. I'll clean that up with a wire wheel just a little bit to get those decals and things off. I love the old Colorado number plate. You can see last registered in 1994. And I love these sort of battering rams for rear bumpers. I probably will put a tow bar on it as well, just to give it a bit of extra protection. I did bend these around. They were kind of flattened off, so I got a hammer and some pliers and I sort of pulled it into shape. But it's come away here. It needs to be welded up. That's probably kind of what it should look like there. They used to put pieces of wood in here and have like stake beds on the side, which looks kind of cool. I might even look at doing something like that, like a metal piece with a wooden stakes on the side. It's got the old tail lights, which are cool, and the tow hooks. I've also ordered, finally I found a guy who makes the 8-foot long bed wood for it. So I've got all new strips, new bolts, and pre-cut wood timber to go in the back. So what I'd like to do is get a wire brush and clean up all the inside of this and paint it. It doesn't have to be concours d'elegance, but maybe just make it look kind of tidy. And then I'll redo all the back. I'll stain the timber in the back and all that kind of stuff. So that'll look kind of cool. And then I'll just sort of play it by ear how much further I want to take the, I'll call it restoration of the truck once I've done that. I took a few of the chain links out of this mud flat because they were way too low. They're dragging on the ground. Even now it's only about an inch and a quarter off the ground. I also got new bolts to mount the tray on the body. I'm actually going to lift the tray off the chassis, so I can actually get to the chassis with wire wheel and just clean it up. It's actually pretty good, but just maybe put some of that, is it called Behr 15 or something? Paint that on, that heavy sort of duty black. I don't know if it's enamel, but it's kind of a very heavy duty finish. Sort of someone will be able to tell me what it is. The front of the tray there, you can see there is some corrosion, so I need to just wire wheel that and just see how bad that is. I may need to get Brian or someone to weld a piece into it. Otherwise, or Brian can show me how to do it myself, because as I said, I've got a welder, I'm keen to learn. But it's got new shocks and new brakes and everything in it, new tyres. And I do love the look of it. I think it looks terrific. This fender here is fine, actually. I'm not going to bother replacing that. It bows out a little bit here, but nothing too bad. I mean, although there is some rust I can see at the front leading edge, so I'll look at that and just see how bad that is, whether that can be patched. This step isn't too bad. The cab corners, that's always where they rust. They make those as reproduction, so I will definitely buy some of those. Front left fender and this door are actually really good. You can see here, there's rust here. They actually make these sections as well. It's sort of double skinned here, which is maybe why they rust. And then these are like support struts, again, which are rusted as well. There's rust at the front here and in the floor. So I think that can be patched up relatively easily. This panel here, as I said, they make a reproduction for this step. That's the build plate for anyone that's interested. You can pause that and look at the details of it. I did look up all the details, which plan it was built in and all that kind of stuff. It's got this very nifty little spotlight here, which you can sort of swivel around. It works. Which is kind of cool. And I've got a new steering wheel coming. This one's cracked. I was going to try and glue it, clamp it up and glue it, which I still could do. But I saw they had brand new steering wheels, Repro, so I'll just buy one of those. But yeah, all the gauges and everything works. The seat is well worn. Ray threw a free towel in last time, so it's part of the restoration. I have to pay the final bill, so maybe I have to see if there's an itemised account for the towel. But this stops the springs going into your rear end. Those panels here are behind the seat, so that just gives really good access because I bought a new piece of glass for it, which is good. You can buy quite a few pieces for this, depending. More so for the 50, 58, 59, 60 than the 57, but there are a lot of shared parts. So yeah, bought a new piece of glass and I got new handles and yeah, so just the windows roll up and down nicely. I've got to take that window tin off the right-hand window. Doors close well, new fuel tank, as I said, new brakes, things like that. So there's a dent in the roof, which I need to fix. So I'll take that headlining off. You can see it, yeah, you can see it there. Front right, very mild dent, so it should be easy just to push up with my hand, I would suggest. But yeah, I think it's a really cool vehicle. And I'm glad I got this bumper bar off. I didn't film taking it off. You know, I could have done that, I suppose, but you know, I just used this impact. The Ryobi did a good job, and a few other tools which I've been able to assemble here. And it's great having the right tools at hand when you need, you know, when you're working on something, just having the right tools makes all the difference. So that was just a short video on the 1957 Ford F-250 truck. If you check out the 1969 Ford XL convertible, the red 429 4-speed, factory 4-speed, incredibly rare car. Ray's working on that now, so that's why I had to bring the truck back here. And if you check that out, you'll see the journey of the truck home. But prior to that, if you watch the episodes, there's a playlist on the Ford F-250 truck. You can follow along the progress, and I'll be adding more episodes as well. So thanks again for watching. Please give the episode a like. Pretty dirty fingers. And hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a future episode. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.